What's happening, party people? It's time for the Black Lightning Monday again. I know, again, we've been over this. You're like, I've been watching this 3 weeks in a row, same haircut, same shirt. What's the deal here? Does this guy ever change his clothes? Does he ever go home? Does he leave that place? The reality is I'm down here shooting a whole bunch of these on the same day, trying to make use of the fact that the club is closed and kind of quiet. So here's the topic for today that I think is going to be very helpful to those of you who work in bars and small clubs. Again, this is kind of one of those soft skills things that I like to talk about. I like to talk about a lot about the psychology and the philosophy of the job and how you can use that to make yourself stand out and be more noticeable among engineers so that you can elevate your career and not be stuck working in bars and small clubs for the rest of your life. That particular topic for today is this. Just become your own lost and found department. Don't rely on the venue. Don't rely on the other engineers who work the day after you. Be your own lost and found department. If you're cleaning off the stage at the end of the night, which you should be doing, and you're rolling up cables and you find something like say like a lug fell out of the bottom of a floor tom, okay? And if you can, send a picture on Facebook or Instagram. It only takes a second. If you've got a smartphone, snap a photo of it, send it to each of the 3 bands if they've already gone home, and say, hey, did you leave behind this guitar stand? Did you leave behind this 1/4-inch cable? Hey, I found a power strip that has your band's sticker on it, so I think this belongs to you. Now, they're not always going to be able to come back and get that stuff. Sometimes I've got touring bands who might accidentally leave something behind, and I come in the next day and find that there was like a $10 cheapo guitar stand or something, and that band is on tour and they've already moved on and they're already in Los Angeles. They're just going to say, oh, don't worry about it, sorry about that, we'll just grab another one at Guitar Center or something. They're not going to have you FedEx them a stand that doesn't even cost as much as the shipping to get it back to them. But do your best to get things back to people whenever possible. It's always just a good little chance for them to come in the next time you're working and just have like a little positive follow-up interaction with you, and then gives them a chance to say thanks. They remember your face. They remember, oh, we've played that club a bunch of times, but that was the person who happened to be extra helpful on that particular occasion when I left behind that power cable that I had, or I left behind my 1/4-inch cable for my pedal board or whatever. Now, if there are things that you can't get back to the rightful owner, like I said, sometimes things just get abandoned. Sometimes I send messages to people repeatedly over the course of months, and they're like, yeah, we'll come in and we'll get that. And then sometimes I have to give them an ultimatum and say, yo, if you don't come in by X date or whatever, I'm throwing it away or I'm giving it away because this crap is like piling up in the sound booth. And that happens a lot here at Bottom of the Hill. A lot of things get forgotten, left behind. It happens. It's bars and small clubs. You're working on a stage, like relatively dark lighting. Everybody's hustling on those changeovers, moving fast, trying to get things done. Sometimes you got to work early the next morning and you're in the opening band, and so you can't stay for the whole show. You got to like load out and leave. I totally get it. But if people don't pick up their things, or if they're just not interested in having it sent to them or whatever, if it's not worth it, keep that stuff around and then do what I've been doing for many, many years, because people, this really freaks people out. They love it. They'll ask me, they'll say, hey, do you have one of those standard IEC power cords that plugs into the back of like a Marshall head or whatever? Like, I lost my cord or whatever. I'm like, dude, I have a milk crate full of those things. Here's the deal. If you borrow it, the only condition is you have to take it with you at the end of the night. I don't want to see it again. I can't give these things away fast enough. So if you do that, people not only get a good laugh out of it, but they actually do appreciate it. Sometimes I can even say, I got 6 guitar stands here that I don't even know, like no one ever came back for them or whatever. Here, you want to borrow a guitar stand? Take 2 of them so you have one as a backup. And again, people dig it and they appreciate that sort of thing. It's a good thing that just gives you opportunities to sort of follow up with people and have interaction with them after the show is over. And maybe that interaction is just via Instagram or Facebook or email or something like that. But again, it's just something that helps put them in a state of mind where they're grateful that you helped them out. So something worth doing and worth thinking about. Be your own lost and found department. It's only a tiny bit of work, but it actually can be very helpful to you, and it can pay back dividends. All right, peace.